In today's episode, we will discuss front-end development and how you can use it to meet your business needs. The front end is where user interaction takes place. And the simplest front end consists of HTML and CSS. HTML provides the structure-defining elements such as titles, paragraphs, and images, while CSS adds style including colors, backgrounds, shadows, and font sizes. To make it more dynamic rather than static, JavaScript is required. With JavaScript, you can create functions that enable user interaction.
For instance, if you want overdue balances on a dashboard to appear in red, you would implement a JavaScript function to identify those users, instructing your HTML to apply CSS styles to highlight overdue balances in red.
Essentially, this is the primary structure of a front end. As the complexity increases, a more dynamic and intelligent front end requires a greater level of coding. This is where well-known frameworks come into play. These frameworks offer comprehensive packages that not only manage the user-facing component, but also support the backend, enhancing dynamism and facilitating better communication and interaction between users and your databases, storage systems, AI models, and APIs. Prominent frameworks include Google's Flutter as well as React, which offers React Native for mobile applications and standard React for web applications. Flutter is particularly dynamic because a single development can deploy applications on both Android and Mac and as web app or Microsoft applications.
Conversely, mobile applications can be directly developed in Android Studio for Android, or in Swift for iOS, or for any Mac development.
My primary recommendation is to first identify the intended use of the application. It's crucial for the user to feel comfortable and have an environment conducive to performing the tasks required by their company. For example, if you have a business that requires home estimation, it would be impractical for the estimator to rely solely on a computer. Developing a mobile application would be much simpler, allowing field personnel to work efficiently. However, for staff in the office receiving this information, a mobile app might not suffice as they need to view more data than can comfortably fit on a big screen. Therefore, a desktop version of the same application may be necessary. My preference is to develop web applications as extensively as possible. Why web applications? They can seamlessly run on computers, tablets, and phones using responsive design tools that allow you to specify how the app should display on different screens. However, a concern arises as these applications generally require a constant internet connection.
Today, with numerous Wi-Fi connections available both via cellular and through office networks, users typically have access. Yet fieldwork may often lead to locations with poor signal, making it more prudent to opt for a native application that can store information on the device and share data with the central system once reconnected to Wi-Fi.
This approach allows for a small local database that operates offline and minimizes reliance on an internet connection. When considering programming for the front end, I would definitely recommend choosing a framework. Creating apps with pure JavaScript or CSS necessitates a high level of expertise, which can be easily achieved with frameworks. What would be the key decision points? Some platforms, like Flutter, allow you to develop simultaneously for various environments, which significantly reduces development time. However, it has its limitations, including being a relatively new language with a smaller pool of developers as of September 2024. Another drawback is its one-page app principle, which can lead to user confusion since navigating back in their browser exits the app entirely. Nevertheless, it's essential to train and educate users. There is a high availability for React developers, but it's important to note the distinction between React Native for mobile and React for web applications. Notably, knowledge of React does not necessarily equate to proficiency in React Native, which could be a limitation.
Some developers use Angular, which is widely adopted due to its ease of use.
Personally, I find Angular limited in generating dynamic elements necessary for a more interactive and intelligent application. It is better suited for static web pages and extremely simple apps. There's also Microsoft's Visual Basic, which many high-level companies utilize for desktop applications. These desktop applications run on the system's memory and must operate on PCs which could be a limitation, although they can store information without internet connectivity for transferring data. A Wi-Fi connection would be necessary. One advantage of Visual Basic is its capacity to create very complex and sizable applications securely. It's a stable language with substantial support, and many developers are available to work with it. However, its graphics capabilities may feel outdated, being limited to basic design elements like red buttons, green buttons, large titles, and small paragraphs. To summarize, the primary consideration is to clearly understand the requirements. Whether the need is for mobile, desktop, or web applications will depend on the company's activities and the user's comfort in operating effectively. Secondly, evaluating the availability of developers and technical support in your location is essential. React is a good choice since it is a widely known framework.
The third factor is budget. If the intent is to limit spending and accelerate development, Flutter may be a suitable option due to its adaptability across platforms.
In the case of Visual Basic, I recommend it only if the company has many users and justifies the need for such an extensive development effort. If the company requires numerous operations but does not need strong internet support, Microsoft could be a good fit.
For very simple web applications, Angular might be a solid choice.
On the next episode, I'll dive deeper into responsive design tools, game changers that can help companies streamline development, save time, and cut costs while creating standout applications. Stay tuned.